Hello, everyone. My name is Josh Atherton, Executive Director with St. Vrain Valley Schools Education Foundation. I want to welcome you all here to this video that we're doing on behalf of our Sunrise Stampede 5K that's coming up here on August 14th. I wanted to introduce everyone to two very special guests of mine. We have Laura Hess, who is the Executive Director of Special Education at St. Vrain Valley Schools. Laura, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we have Gina Trujillo, who is the Special Education Coordinator in St. Vrain Valley Schools. Gina, welcome.
Thank you, Josh.
We're really excited about the Sunrise Stampede 5K coming up on August 14th. If you don't know what that is, it's an event that our foundation hosts. It's been going on for many, many years now, and all the proceeds from this event goes to special education within the St. Vrain Valley Schools in the form of teacher innovation grants. And in the past, we have provided over $40,000 each year for teacher innovation grants in general, and about a third of that funding, if not a little bit more, is from the Sunrise Stampede and for special education. And the race is going to start, the 5K is going to start approximately around 8 o'clock. And then the fun run will happen after that, about probably 45 minutes to an hour after the 5K starts. And it's over at Silver Creek High School, and it's going to run through Dry Creek Park into the neighborhoods and back. And it's timed, and you can walk it. If you just want to bring your family out and just enjoy a beautiful Saturday morning, you can do that as well. And so, all right, so you may be asking why I have Gina and Laura here. And one of the reasons why I wanted to have both of them on is just talk a little bit about special education in St. Vrain Valley Schools. We're really lucky to have not only one of the best school districts in the country, which I'm a little biased, but I truly believe that. But also, I think we have one of the best special education programs in the country. And Laura and her team do an incredible job to deliver a high quality education program to our students. And I wanted to just bring both of them in here to talk about the special education program, but also talk about teacher innovation grants and the Sunrise Stampede. So Laura, I'm going to start with you first, okay? And what I wanted to know, as the executive director of special education at St. Vrain Valley Schools, we know that St. Vrain offers a very robust special education program for our students. Can you give the audience some background on how your team works with students with disabilities and their families to ensure they get the best education possible?
I would love to. Our teachers are really at the heart of what we do here in St. Vrain. We're really lucky that we're able to recruit and retain the highest level of teachers in special education. To be able to really partner with our families to get creative and collaborative around all of the services that students need to be successful at school. And that looks like a wide variety of needs. We have students who might just see a special ed teacher for a little portion of their day, or students who maybe spend additional time, maybe most of their day, with a special ed teacher and additional service providers such as speech and language pathologists, occupational therapists, school psychologists, to support all of their needs. And that's the best part about public schools, is that we get to that opportunity to teach the rest of the world how to interact with people with disabilities. And our teachers are rock stars. They are by far the best group that we get that opportunity to work with every day.
I agree. And again, I might be a little biased here, but I think our staff is incredible. What do you think makes our staff in St. Vrain, and of course I'm talking about special education, but what makes your staff and the staff here in St. Vrain Valley Schools for special education, what makes it so special, maybe compared to other areas of the country?
I think what we do here in terms of providing layers of support for teachers, in terms of providing materials, teachers have the opportunity to collaborate with their general education peers, hopefully more often as time goes on. And, we've really come out of that mindset where we operate in a silo all by ourselves. And instead, our special ed team members are valued members of professional growth and are able to provide consultation on a wide variety of needs because that's their specialty area.
Yeah, and I know, especially within St. Vrain Valley Schools, collaboration is encouraged, right? And it doesn't mean that just because you're in special education doesn't mean you can't collaborate with a math teacher or a science teacher or help in another area. And I think that's what makes St. Vrain really, really special.
I would agree with you.
Well, great. Well, thank you for that answer. Appreciate it. Gina, I'm going to go on to you next. Obviously, with the Sunrise Stampede, 100% of the proceeds from the race, from the 5K, goes towards teacher innovation grants. And of course, in this case, for special education teachers. These grants are meant to fund teacher projects that enhance the learning experience for our students. Can you tell me what these grants have meant to the incredible offerings the district already has?
Sure. We've had several teachers apply for grants every year, and the number keeps increasing as we get the word out. Um, and it provides teachers the opportunity to sort of think outside the box and really get creative and maybe try something that they wouldn't normally want to try, or just want to try with a small group of students to see if it works, and then it can branch out from there. A perfect example of that is Chad Lemons over at Meade High School with he's the director of band, and he applied for a grant for unified percussion. And it's a way for our students to work with peer mentors of typical peers, and to sort of enhance their ability to participate in percussions. And then they perform at assemblies, football games, basketball games, and that grant alone has then spread interest throughout our other high schools. And so that's been something that's been growing throughout the district. So we think of the grants as something to enhance opportunities for our students, think outside the box, think creatively, and what can we do to sort of hop on that train. A lot of technology grants come to mind, just utilizing new things with robotics, enhancing social skills for our kids. So we are very thankful to the Education Foundation for providing this opportunity for our students and our teachers. And we look on the website for the Education Foundation because we do little testimonials from our teachers, thanking the Education Foundation for all the wonderful generosity to our students in St. Vrain.
I agree. And Chad Lemons is a great teacher over there. Meade High School is doing great things with the unified program over there. And it's, for me personally, and I'm not in the realm of special education like the two of you, but seeing it from the outside in, allowing those special education students to be involved with athletics, be involved with extracurricular activities, I think is really, really neat and a long time coming. And seeing that project that Chad approached us for the funding, but also to see that, like you said, going out into other schools within our own district, but also having other districts contact us about that program. You've seen that, right?
Oh, yes. Our whole unified program in general has sort of caught fire. My own son, who just graduated from Erie High School, was a peer mentor for that program. And it really, from the gen ed perspective, it sort of gives opportunities for our students to understand disabilities and understand, how to help our students interact in a more positive manner and get those opportunities, those social skills opportunities that they wouldn't normally have. And then from our special education students' families, I've had numerous parents come up and say, thank you so much for the opportunity for this. This is the first time in our child's career that they felt like just a part of, like a normal parent, part of the, football game and or basketball game. And so it really has opened a window for all of our families to sort of unite on a common ground. And yeah, like you said, we do have lots of other districts contacting us to see how we can expand the program, but we wouldn't have been able to start some of this without that funding from the Education Foundation to really, spark it, because we have a wonderfully robust curriculum and all the materials in the world for our special education students on a normal everyday basis. But some of these extra projects take a labor of love, intensity, and some funding. So that's why we are so thankful to the Education Foundation for that.
Gina, I think as a leader, I think it's important for you to see that, right? To see your teachers apply for these funds and to really try to expand the offerings that we have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my favorite part, is when we go through all the grants that have been turned in, because you really get to see across the district, from our early childhood education, special education teachers, to our high school and to our LSA transition students. Everybody applies, all related services apply, and they really are thinking outside the box of what can they do to take their craft to the next level and really get our kids some really cool opportunities. And so that's my fun 2 nights, where we get to sit through and go through all the grants and see what everybody's doing. And some of the grants that maybe just need a little bit more tweaking, we go back to that teacher and say, hey, let's talk about this. How can we shift it for next year? What are some opportunities that you can do now to sort of expand that thinking? And so it's been really, really cool.
Yeah, our special education teachers work very closely with each school administration and work with, of course, your department, Laura, with special education, trying to make sure that every project that's being proposed is really meeting what the expectations are. And again, enhancing what we're already doing and making sure that we're not being redundant, that we're not doing something that's already happening in the district, but really trying to enhance. So Laura, I'm gonna ask you a question about the actual Sunrise Stampede. And just a reminder, everyone, sunrisestampede.org, or you can also go to our foundation website at saintvrainvalleyfoundation.org. You can see all information on there. For Laura, for you, obviously this is a community event, and this event is meant to raise money for teacher innovation grants for special education. I think there's a family component of this, right? A community component. What makes you really excited about this event, the actual event, the day of?
You know, the day of my very first year with St. Vrain, I was pregnant with my little girl, and I was able to connect and walk with families that I had never met being new to the district. And so it's always kind of held that special place in my heart of the opportunity to connect with people on a different level. I think what we're really looking forward to is, you know, we went a year without some opportunities for in-person gatherings and outside events. And so this is our first event that our district is holding where it's bringing our community together. And it's not just our special education community, it's all of our cross-country teams tend to participate. And it's really just a great time to see kids and families all together walking and running the race. I know for this year, my family and I will be out there together doing that fun run. And so we're really excited with all the different layers of opportunities for people to participate. The Education Foundation has been really creative over the last year and a half of how we do this event and what does it look like and what does it mean for it's much bigger than just special ed. It's really just that, you know, point of contact of kind of kicking off the school year, you know, because school starts the following week. And it's just a really nice time to connect with everyone.
Yeah, we're really encouraging everyone to come out for it, young and old. We've got everything for anyone. We're actually going to have a vendor alley with all of our vendors who are coming out. You know, to name a few, Longmont United Hospital, who's a great partner with us. They're actually sponsoring 200 of our students to come and race for free, which we thank Longmont United Hospital for doing that. We're actually going to have our mobile lab there as well. If you haven't seen our mobile lab, it's an incredible piece of equipment. You can go in and see all the offerings that our district is doing, which I think is pretty amazing. So sunrisestampede.org, go there, you can check out. And I want to leave the last thing to either Laura or Gina. Is there anything else you want to add about special education in St. Vrain Valley Schools or about this event?
I think overall, we're just really excited and really thankful for the Education Foundation of what they provide. It really gives that next layer of opportunity to our teachers to think outside the box, like Gina said earlier. And, you know, some of those things, we have a whole program around Innovate to Elevate now. Because of some of the work that the Ed Foundation has spiked us as leaders to think about. Can we think about these things in a different way? And so we've taken that work that teachers have done and expanded it across district-wide programs. And so it's not just funded by the Ed Foundation, is that we use this as a place to kind of pilot and look for different innovative opportunities. You know, the best part about innovation is sometimes things don't work out the way that you wanted, and they work out 10 times better than you ever thought that they could. Yep. And so it's those types of things that we look to expand upon from a district-wide perspective. And it really has just brought all of us together as a district to think creatively and outside the box, which is really, at the end of the day, all of that benefits our students and our families. And that's what we want to do. We want to give our students that competitive advantage, no matter if they have a disability or not, as they enter into the workforce. So, on
behalf of the community, on behalf of the board of directors here at the foundation, I want to thank both of you and all of your staff for work that they do on behalf of our students with disabilities. Really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.